Personal log, stardate 2641.11.14. My first assignment after leaving the academy was meant to be as a bridge officer on a Constellation-class starship. Yet Admiral Towers did not take kindly to me getting involved with his daughter. What was I to do? She clearly had a thing for Starcom officers. So, a promising career as an officer on a first-rate vessel following my achievements under the academy was foiled by politics. They gave me the transfer papers, congratulated me on my promotion to Commander Second Class, and shipped me off from Terra to this sector in the Outer Rim. My ship, the Artemis, is an old Vega-class scout vessel, essentially a glorified shuttle with a plasma auto-turret. My second-in-command, Lieutenant Commander Avery, seems competent enough, so I wonder what on Terra she has done to be exiled out here. We've been given garbage disposal duty near Maya Station. From what I've heard at the bar in Merope, it's some form of top-secret research facility, all hush-hush. Well, if that's what Starcom wants to use my talents for, I'll do my duty and see if I can ingratiate myself with the local command staff. Maybe my career is salvageable after all. And here I am, Commander Cromwell, Commander Second Class Cromwell, on my way to my first assignment, and I have been put on garbage duty. So, that said, I will do my best and try to impress the brass. And here is my scout shuttle. Basically a shuttle. It is the Artemis, and Lieutenant Avery, my first officer. So off we go on duty to deal with some cargo that has been left over by a wrecked hauler and is endangering space traffic. We're closing in on the vessel, and there are several dozen containers loose, so we'll have to approach them with caution, and we might have to use the single plasma turret that is sitting here on the back of my ship and to clear out whatever is there. But until we know exactly what's in there, we're going to have to be somewhat cautious. Okay, there's the cargo hauler, and I'm already seeing something that is eerily glowing. So let's get close enough, and then Lieutenant Avery, if you don't mind, let's see if we can connect to the ship's computer and find out what's going on in there. Got the cargo manifest declaration. Miscellaneous waste collected from regional Starcom bases, including abandoned personal effects, growing soil with heavy metal contaminants, non-recoverable technical equipment, and deteriorating xenium from experiments. Classified caution, extremely volatile. Yeah, degraded xenium is dangerous stuff. We should try to destroy the loose containers carefully. All right, so let's begin. Target that looks suspiciously explosive. So open fire. Lock on target, maintain distance, and open fire with the plasma gun. Yep, that definitely was more explodey than I would have otherwise thought. If you're playing along at home, I am leaving the crew messages without the auto disappear, because sometimes I otherwise won't be able to catch up with reading out the text for everyone and making sure that we don't miss anything. Okay, that one's going to be exploding. There it goes. And there's a bit more stuff up here in the upper area. So let's chase that down as well. Well, nobody said it was glorious, but somebody has to do it. Garbage duty. Okay. This comms, Avery on the comms, getting a priority emergency beacon from the Starcom open hyperwave from Maya Station, asking for any nearby ships to report immediately. Okay, I guess we have something more important to do, so let's carefully navigate through this garbage field here and make our way towards Maya Station, which is a somewhat mysterious research station, and apparently something shows up on the scanners that get tagged as wormhole stabilizers. We'll see what on Earth what on Terra they've been working on. And we'll make ourselves known to the local station commander, and certainly this can't harm our prospects for getting off garbage duty. So let's since we're doing a flyby, let's take a closer look at those stabilizers. that's the station. It's quite significant in size, and these must be those stabilizers they're working on, whatever they do. Well, they stabilize wormholes, obviously, but we'll see what else. Let's hail them. Commodore Shell, thank you for responding to our priority message. Normally this would go through Starcom Fleet HQ, but we have an urgent situation. Do tell, Commodore. We've received an emergency beacon from our outpost on the other side of a quantum wormhole, so that's what you've been working on, okay. They must have a critical emergency. I need you to activate the 2 nearby neutrino generators that will expand the wormhole large enough for us to get through to them. Okay. I know you haven't been briefed on this, but our support ship was damaged by debris and is en route to Merope for the repairs. Any questions? I have many questions, but I know better than to bother a superior officer. Sir, I'm more than happy to abandon my garbage duties and activate these generators right away. He is certainly glad to hear it. Transmitting the override codes. I need to get close enough. I should say that this project is classified. Report back once the wormhole is open and I'll fill you in on what you are permitted to discuss. Okay, obviously classified, yes. We've gathered this much. So let's take a closer look at these generators here. Wormhole stabilizers. It looks like, I would argue from the shape of it, that it projects forward, because otherwise it would probably get too close to the station as well. So we probably want to be behind it when we're doing this. All right, Lieutenant Avery, connect the comms and transmit activation codes. Okay, there goes. That would be the first one. Thing is putting out a huge amount of energy, over 800 terawatts. Well, if it's a stable wormhole, I wouldn't expect no less, but it's probably a wise decision not to be in front of these things. Let's head up and get the second one up and running. I would have thought that there might be 3 of them, just from their positioning, because it looks like I would have expected them to be positioned opposite each other, but what am I to say? I'm not a quantum wormhole specialist. All right, that's those things activated, and we've lost helm control. Shockwave. Okay, we're getting drifting into the wormhole. Avery is rapidly trying. Oh dear, what is this? Lieutenant Avery, I really need helm controls back, and it is opening fire immediately on my station by the looks of it. That is alien, massive, and scary. Actually, let's play dead. What the fleck? Whatever that is, just punched through my station like the neutronium hull was aluminium. Okay, we've got helm control on auxiliary. Full engines to max, but it looks like we're being dragged into the event horizon. And there's nothing we can do to escape. Nope, we're getting sucked into the wormhole. Well, I guess we escaped that by sheer luck, because we have basically lost all energy, and we might have looked more like a piece of space debris. But in return, sensors show that the warp field holding the wormhole is collapsing. All right, and engines to full. Let's get out of here and get clear of whatever that thing is doing. And it's gone. Gravimetric scans show the wormhole is still there, but it's collapsed down to Planck scale. Well, great. Avery from comms. I've detected a Starcom beacon on our scanners. I've marked its position on our HUD. That must be the station that Maya's commander mentioned. We should make contact and let them know what has happened. So, to summarize, we have been sucked through a wormhole and are in unknown space. Captain's log, stardate 2641.11.14. We were interrupted on our mission by an emergency request from Maya Station. After activating the wormhole stabilizers, an alien ship broke through and immediately opened fire, destroying the station within seconds. Our systems were disabled from the energy pulse, so they probably mistook us for debris. The Artemis's engines were no match for the wormhole's gravity, and we were transported into what I can only assume to be a different universe, as nothing here matches our star charts. After reviewing the star charts, Lieutenant Avery agrees with me that we are not just in a different galaxy, but we are in a completely different universe. Alright, that must be the station that we're approaching here. So this is the research station that Starcom has created in here, through the wormhole. Let's get close, dock, and make ourselves known to the local commander, and get them up to speed of what's going on in here. Alright, docking with Seleno Station, we are immediately escorted to the office of Commodore Yu. Welcome to Seleno Station, Commander. I assume your appearance means Maya picked up our emergency beacon. And I hope that Artemis is just a very small tip of a much larger spear of reinforcements coming through. Yeah, about that. Unfortunately, the wormhole is collapsed, and after an alien ship made its way through, and we have lost Maya Station with all hands. Let's fill him in on what's happened. That's very alarming. Well, I call that the understatement of the century. The reason we sent the emergency beacon is that recently we've come under attack by vessels of unknown origin. We're calling them Red Raiders based on their markings for lack of any other information. Now you're telling me there's another threat that's cut us off from support. Well, if I'm just going to go by size, I would say Maya has been a significantly larger station than Seleno. And if that thing has basically taken out Maya Station in one fell swoop, then it is significantly more dangerous than whatever Red Raiders you're dealing with here. But for now, there doesn't seem to be anything that can be done about Maya Station or the ship that destroyed it. Yes, we can definitely not return back, and it seemed like it had warped out or cloaked, because after it destroyed the station, it seemed to have made its way out of reality, at least. So this is a problem for Starcom to sort out. We are for now cut off in a completely different universe. We can deal with the ships that have been attacking us. They're not terribly powerful, and Seleno's guns have kept them at bay. We have a research outpost under development on an inner planet. The only other support ship on this side is the wormhole is out of comms range. And given these attacks, we have only one other ship in this universe. Well, make that two now. Given these attacks and the lack of imminent reinforcements, I need your help evacuating the staff back to this station. I can do that. You'll need a survey launcher. I've had Lieutenant Milton start making modifications on Artemis. See him in the shipyard and then get our people back safe. Okay. Let's have a before we head over there. Let's have a quick look at the public logs of Seleno Station. We've got just the regular operations. It seems that the wormhole is opening used to open every 48 hours. They were supposed to be rotating. No, they have rotated the crew of. I would assume that the Alethea would be the other ship that's in the region, and we are. Okay, so that was the opening on 10:03 was the opening through the wormhole to Maya for relay. They've had a ship departing for the wormhole for the resupply in 15 days, 3 hours, which means if the wormhole is now collapsed, that was 10:04. So they should have actually gotten another resupply back in actually. And then they had sent some cadets for a survey team who seemed to have not passed the qualification on the first go. So the cadets Pirks and Ria had to go for back to the simulator, and then on stardate 1027 they had everyone to battle stations, but that seems to have. Oh no, sorry, that's at 23:52 hours. So about 20 minutes later, they had unknown vessels approaching, and about 3 hours later, they recovered from battle stations and did a general debrief. And then they got the early wormhole burst signal. That was today. So, well, that was us. So that's not really that was it. Now the wormhole is closed. I would assume we can't open it anymore because Maya Station has been blown up, and that thing used to control the wormhole stabilizers from the other side. All right, let's head over to the shipyard and meet Lieutenant Milton. We do need to fit a survey lander onto the Artemis. Fortunately, the shipyard is fully automated, so we can fit that in the rear. And now, yeah, it is a lossless reclamator shipyard. So we have a fully robotic shipyard that can recycle unneeded components and reprint and install fresh components, which is great technology to have, because that'll allow us to, as we procure more resources, that'll allow us to, well, make the Artemis a bit more combat ready. So he's given us another plasma turret, but we have lost our forward deflector, which I'm not particularly happy about. I would have liked to have that, but we don't have any iridium. No, it must have been damaged. It must have been damaged beyond repair on the transfer. So we've got a peak draw of 3.8 gigajoule, but an energy output of 1.5. So we are definitely in need of a reactor of a separate reactor outside of the bridge, but we don't have the chirolite necessary or the aluminium. I'm sorry, I am going to call it, sorry America, I am going to call it aluminium to make that. So this is as good as it gets with the 2 plasma turrets. Okay, then that's what we're going to have to work with. And I don't think we can even stick a bulkhead on that. Nope, because that would need titanium. All right, so we're done there. And we'll have our first mission. So let's get back onto the ship. And Lieutenant Avery and myself, all by our lonesome, are going to have to rescue some people from the outpost. Okay, leaving the docks of Saleno Station, and we're heading directly towards the R1 planet in the north, which is where the outpost is located. And we'll see if we can get the people off of there before we run into any opposition here. Actually, scratch that. Lieutenant Avery reporting two Raider scouts, hostiles, weapons on the ready, red alert, full battle stations. Okay, these things might actually be, be outdoing us in terms of firepower quite significantly, and definitely faster than us, these things. So energy is a problem. We can only fire short bursts. Taken some damage from the first pass. Automatic repair systems are underway, and it looks like they are heading straight towards the station. So Seleno's firepower is going to assist here to a degree. But let's see if we can make ourselves felt. There we go. That was my kill. And we'll scoop up with a tractor beam whatever resources we can gather here. We've got some aluminium coming out from that. Automatic repairs are progressing, and Seleno's guns have certainly been sufficient in dealing with the threat so far. So once all systems are back to nominal, we'll make landfall and rescue the people from the outpost. Okay, we have arrived at the rocky planet. We're going to get scanners up and see if we can locate the outpost. Yeah. Right, Lieutenant Avery, you have the bridge. I'm going to head to the survey shuttle and land this thing myself. And then we will I'll see if I can make contact with the team on the ground. The ground team is disappointed to abandon the outpost. They had been excavating the ruins of a civilization called during a late period of the Fallen Empire. The team had just uncovered an artifact with markings similar to the great structure in space near Selena. What great structure in space? Did I miss something? But they quickly and professionally evacuate the object and vital materials to the lander. All right, let's return to the ship. And there we go. And back I am. All right, let's have a look at our cargo hold and see what they've brought on board here. Lieutenant Avery, can we analyze this thing? Let's get the computers on it and see if we can find out what they actually have uncovered there. The device transforms geometric information from Euclidean space to an esoteric representation of warp space, maybe a navigational device. Okay, this sounds useful. That could be something that we could use. It sounds almost like something that could be used for wormholes. But most certainly having the research available is a good thing that we can, hopefully, if Seleno has a fully equipped lab, we can use to maybe find some improvements to our ship systems. Because as it looks, I think the Artemis is going to need a few upgrades before we are going to be able to make ourselves useful in this universe, especially in terms of speed and firepower. So right now we are effectively a glorified shuttle with a few small plasma cannons on it. So back we are at Seleno, and let's report back to the Commodore. Well done, Cromwell. Given our shortage of Starcom vessels here in your ship, we'll need to take on an outsized role for my experience. Well, I am relatively fresh, but I'm eager to please. Well, I did want to get out of garbage duty, and it seems that that has certainly worked out. Until Starcom reopens the wormhole and sends reinforcements, establishing an outpost is a lower priority than strengthening our defenses. I'm authorizing you to make full use of the resources recovered from the outpost to outfit Artemis. I'll talk to our research chief about getting you access to the lab as well. That is great news. Unless there's anything else, I'll brief you on our next moves after you've had a chance to upgrade Artemis. So I do have some questions. Let's see, what can we talk about? Why is this wormhole universe classified? Fair question. A whole new universe is a major discovery. We should want all Starcom divisions as well as the civilian sectors studying this space. There was a lot of arguing among the division heads on this topic. The final decision, as I've been informed, was that if the initial 2-year research phase didn't uncover any serious threats here, Starcom would make a general announcement and expand exploration. I suspect recent events might have changed that timeline. Yeah, see, the major problem here is that the wormhole worked both directions. So it's us opening the portal to get ourselves through has inadvertently caused significant loss of life and the total loss of Maya Station because something came through the other way. So there's certainly a threat in this universe that we need to worry about. Let's head over to the lab and meet Dr. Rama. I'm Dr. Rama. I'm the head of Seleno's research projects. We've spent the past month studying the nearby artifacts and looking for clues to its operation on nearby planets. Commodore Yu has just notified me that for defense reasons, we're redirecting our priorities and I'm to place my lab at your disposal. Incidentally, that's a figure of speech. You are not to break anything. I am sensing that you are not happy about this, Dr. Rama. Your sensors are calibrated correctly. She might be hiding pointy ears behind that haircut of hers. Very logical, Doctor. Given my new directives, the object uncovered has given us some research data you can put to work. If you meet me in the lab, I can educate you on the facilities. All right, let's head over to the lab then and meet her there. Okay, we have a few options that we can use the research points on. Obviously, improvement of, we've got 70 research points. We can make improvements to hulls, to the engines. We can make improvements to our plasma weapons, our reactors. Very much important. We've got some officer training that we can do in the simulators, and we can improve our tractor beam, our sensors, and there are some unknown tech that we have absolutely no access to. So that is all. That's all that is. Now I am going to go with the turbo thrust here, which allows me to overload the engines for an increased speed burn at higher energy consumption. And then we will see if we can. Impressive! You did. Yes, Dr. Rama, I have managed to peruse the touch screen without breaking it in twain. So let's head back to operations. Actually, the Commodore wants something from us, but yeah, we'll talk to him first, and then we'll head back to the shipyard and see if we can, now that we have material at our disposal, we can see if we can improve if we can get the automated dockyard to improve the ship somewhat. If Artemis is one of our only vessels in this space, you'll need a full command crew for maximum efficiency and to conduct planetary surveys. I agree, Commodore. Some of the team members you evacuated from the outpost have volunteered. Hopefully not Perks and Rhea, because they actually needed to go back to the simulator. They've been added to your crew roster, which you can review at any time. They're admittedly a bit green, but I think with some experience, they'll be officer material in no time. Speaking of experience, we've detected some ship movements around a nearby gas giant. There also appears to be some activity on the surface of one of its moons. I want you to check it out. The ships have similar energy readings as the Red Raiders. So yeah, we need to get Artemis ready for combat. But first, before we head over, let's quickly meet the crew. Head over to the crew quarters and welcome our new additions. We have Cadet Alex Triton, a xenoculture specialist. We have Cadet Martina Kepler, who is our observation, sensors and observation planetary survey specialist. We have one James Rhea, and he is our biomed, he's our doctor. And we have one Cassie Perks, who is our astroscience officer. So I'm going to have to keep a bit of an eye on these two. Then we have Cadet Cygnus Lee, who is our tactical officer, and Cadet Gliese, who is who is in the engineering. All right, so it's good to meet all of you, and I'm sure we'll all get along splendidly. It's not that I have massive amounts of experience either, so I think we're going to work together just fine. All right, I'll meet you all. For the mission at 08 hours tomorrow. For now, I'm going to head over back to the shipyard, see if we can program this robotic shipyard to improve the ship somewhat. So our main problem is the energy output, and see if we have enough for a reactor. We do have one chirolite, and we've got the aluminium for it. So let's get rid of the lander for now. We'll stick the reactor behind the bridge. That gets us to 4.5 gigajoules per second of energy output. And then we can probably move the engines a bit onto the rear. I currently don't have the heat map. There's so modules produce heat, but I don't have the necessary research yet to actually review that in the robotic planning mode. Okay, can I get the forward half deflector? Negative. We have no iridium. That is not great. I don't think we can do anything about. I have no titanium, and I have no gold, so I can't do anything about propulsion either. Which means I probably, if I don't have any titanium, we can't do anything with the bulkheads. I do have a bit of copper, so I might be... we've got 6 yttrium actually. So we can get another plasma cannon on. That is going to probably... What are these things drawing? They are drawing... that is weapons plus engines. So let's see if we stick a plasma turret in front. Yeah, that gets us slightly over, but we do need more firepower. So this is probably the best we're going to be getting. Can't do any bulkheads without titanium. Can't do anything. We do need to put the survey lander back in the rear. Otherwise, we're not cleared for operations. All right, this is very bare bones. I would love to have an actual pair of deflectors here, and potential. I would actually prefer to have the half deflector here and have additional firepower behind. But yeah, this is the best that we can do for now. So this is going to be the Artemis. We've used what we could from the resources, and we'll be having a night's sleep, and then tomorrow we'll be heading out on our first scouting mission to begin securing the outlying planets. There is another ship. I presume it is. Where was it? Here it is. I presume it is the Alethea, and we'll We might see if we meet the other captain operating in this universe. But yeah, we are probably gonna have to be very, very quiet for a while before we have sufficient firepower here to defend ourselves from incoming threats.